Good afternoon, folks. This is Deb. I'm here because we have to have an honest conversation, okay? I still hear far too many people talking about what's going on in this country as politics, okay? We're way beyond politics here, okay? Now the news media wants to keep talking about what's happening in America like it's just another day in Washington because the news media is completely under the boot of Donald Trump. The mainstream media is completely under the boot of Donald Trump. Okay? They have capitulated. They will someday regret it. Okay? They will someday regret it, just as Hitler's fascist enablers ended up regretting what they did. The billionaires will end up regretting it as well. Okay? The American people can start right now making the billionaires regret it. You can stop buying iPhones, okay? Samsung makes phones too. You can stop buying iPhones. You can stop buying from Amazon. The people who sat behind Donald Trump at his installation as the Führer can all be punished, okay? The power is with you. That's how Jimmy Kimmel got put back on the air. But I digress. Okay? Because what's going on in this country is not politics. And we need to make that abundantly clear. The American people have got to see this for what it is. This is fascism. Okay? All of this. We have a bunch of jackbooted thugs that Donald Trump has put into American cities to take up arms against his own citizens. We have ICE, who is rounding up innocent American citizens and throwing them into gulags. Okay? And if you're wondering where the Proud Boys are and all of those guys, I'm pretty sure that a lot of them are now part of ICE, and that's why they're wearing masks. Oh, yes, folks. Yep. ICE has got to be dissolved. At some point in our history, we have to move away from that. It has to be, I'm not saying we don't need border control. That's not what I'm saying, but not under ICE. It's got to be completely emptied out, rebuilt with human beings in it. Okay? Not Donald Trump's personal Gestapo. Okay? And also, all of these people we also know that there are a lot of militia people in the military now. We know that because the Democrats tried to file a bill before this even went down to root out white supremacists and militia people from the military and the police forces across the United States, and the GOP blocked that bill. That'll tell you something. That is your GOP, okay? We have a fat, old, bloated, fascist pig celebrating with his billionaire friends while he keeps food from 43 million Americans. A lot of those people, the elderly, veterans, and children, claiming it's because of the government shutdown. Okay? And he's blaming the Democrats for the government shutdown. Because the choice he has given the Democrats is, okay, if you agree to let us take away health care from 17 million Americans and raise premiums by 70%, we'll let you guys eat. That's really the choice the Democrats are being given. And the Democrats need to hold firm. They need to hold firm on this. Their constituents want them to fight for them. We have a man who has now killed 61 people bombing boats that he claims are drug-running boats, but showing absolutely no evidence of any of it. No evidence. No due process. You could simply board the boat, impound the boat, arrest the people on the boat, and bring forward the drugs that they're running, like you do in a normal court of law, in any kind of police activity. That's the way things get done. but not under Donald Trump now. Now we shoot to kill from the very beginning. We're at 61 and counting. And is he now expanding into the Pacific? Donald Trump is a war criminal. He's a pig. And the UN needs to get involved. It needs to stop this madness because clearly our military can't stand up to him. They're cowards. Our military is being run by a piss-poor, pathetic, lame-brained Fox News weekend anchor. We have generals who have dedicated their entire lives to saving this nation, to serving this nation. And they report to Pete Hogsbreath, a drunk, an alcoholic. That isn't politics. This is all fascism from the get-go. The Republican Congress is not even in office. They're not sitting in Washington right now. They're getting paid every single day by you and me, the taxpayer. But they are not in Washington. They are at home. Or in the case of Nancy Mace, having a meltdown at an airport, screaming at workers who are not even getting paid because they didn't serve her properly, calling them fucking incompetents, nearly getting arrested. She should have gotten arrested. There are people in cities getting arrested for far less than what she's doing. This is not politics, folks. This is fascism. You know, the old boiling frogs theory applies in this country, okay? Where everything happened so gradually that you didn't see it coming until it was right in your face. That's what happened here in America. We all could have seen this coming. Some of us saw it coming. Some of us were warning everybody, and we were being told we were being dramatic and ridiculous. At least I was being told that. Well, here we are. And it seems that some people are still not boiling in hot enough water to figure it out. The Republican Party is not in Washington trying to solve this government shutdown like every other body of legislature has been trying to work through these things. In fact, Mike Johnson, MAGA Mike, the biggest pussy in America, he's so pussy whipped by Donald Trump, it's pathetic. Is thinking maybe we won't bring these people back till January. Why? Because that way he doesn't have to certify the election of Adelina Gravalia and give us the final vote to release the Epstein files. That's what this is all about, folks. It's protecting the rich, powerful pedophiles in America. The very people that put Donald Trump in office. It's not just about him. It's protecting their donors. This is where we are in America. This is not politics. None of this is politics. We are so far beyond politics, it's not funny. None of these people in Washington give a good goddamn about the victims of Jeffrey Epstein. They disgrace them. They defile them by allowing this to continue. When has a Democrat ever refused to seat someone who won an office? Never. It has never happened. So do not dare blame the Democratic Party for any of this. There is one party to blame here. You elected them in 2024 against everybody's better judgment. And let me close with one other thing, because I normally agree with Texas Paul. I watch him a lot. But justifying John Fetterman, a Democrat, the only Democrat who supports the Trump administration, by the way, justifying John Fetterman's behavior as, well, the Democrats are a big tent party. Oh, no. Oh, no, 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 no. I do respect Texas Paul, and I watch him. But this is where we break on this subject. There is no room in the Democratic Party for anyone who supports Donald Trump, supports the actions of the Republican Party, the actions of a group of politicians who want to harm a vast majority of the American people, including their own constituents. And by the way, the majority of John Fetterman's constituents do not want him back in office. And the Democratic Party of Pennsylvania needs to make sure they primary him and get rid of his ass. Because the man has spent the first part of his life, up until the time he was 41, living off his wealthy parents. And now he's living off the American people. And he supports Donald Trump. This is the only Democrat who got on a plane and flew down to Mar-a-Lago after Trump got elected to tell us how great he is, to come back and tell us how much he respected the reach he had with the American people. John Fetterman fails to understand one thing. Authoritarians exist for a reason. It's because their policies aren't popular with anybody. And they have to be strong men and authoritarians and defy the law and defy the rule of law. Because nobody wants this bullshit. Nobody wanted this bullshit when they voted for him, but they really don't want it now. So to say that the Democrats are the big tent party while we're talking about a guy named John Fetterman is gaslighting, in my opinion. And I will not be gaslit on this subject. There is no room in the Democratic Party for anybody who supports what the GOP is doing to this country, that supports the destruction of American democracy, that supports killing 61 people with no due process, that supports rounding up people in cities with no due process and throwing them into freaking concentration camps. There is no room in the Democratic Party for John Fetterman. Texas Paul is wrong on this one. I will talk to you all later.